Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Friday morning live with me, Simone from Blonde Cards and Crafts. If you're new here and you're not familiar with my channel, today I am going to play with the butterfly pop-up. This, I have been really waiting to play with this. It's the Spread Your Wings die set from the last collection, the July collection. So if you missed it, I played with the beautiful floral pop-up. That was the 6x6 floral pop-up, and I had so much fun with that and so much fun with everyone interacting in the comments section, and I'm hoping that today will be just as fun and just as awesome. So I'm going to say a quick hello to everyone that is joining us in the chat. And we have 22 in this morning. How lovely is that? Thank you so much to everyone who's joining me this morning. I have to say, it always amazes me when I come on and find more than the few people I'm friends with. So thank you. We have a good evening from Vicky. So I presume Vicky is somewhere else in the world. We have Alison. We have James. Good morning, James. We have Hazel. Of course, our lovely moderator, Benita is in the chat. Avril, who is a moderator, isn't going to be here this morning. So we're all dependent on you this morning, Benita, to keep all the rowdies, quiet. Tez is here from France. Bonjour, Tez. We have Hilary, Lynette, Pauline, Carolyn, Hazel, Caroline, Alicia, good morning. My lovely daughter Alicia is in the chat too. And good morning, Ireland, and good morning to Jade. I hope that you are all well over in the Netherlands. So Nana says, good morning. Yeah, we have Alison and Laura, Maureen, Wendy, Jules, Lynn, Sue, Cara from Little Rabbit Designs, Donna, Joanne, Rita, and Carmen. So Anne is here as well. Hi, Anne and Puttycomb, and Anne Tupp is here too. So there's 31 in the chat now, and whether you're in the actual comment section chatting away, or if you're just sitting back with a nice cup of tea or maybe a coffee, or maybe you're in a part of the world where you're having a little, vino or, enjoy. But wherever you are, thank you so much for joining. So I'm just going to get rid of housekeeping first. There is lots of information down in the description. There is a link to Craftworld. It is an affiliate link. It's also linked it's pinned in the comments as well. It's an affiliate link. If you use it, it will cost you nothing extra, but what it does is it gives me a little kickback so I can purchase all the lovely Made to Surprise products behind me. So I would really appreciate whether you're shopping today or shopping when the collection comes out next Monday or whenever, if you could use my link. You can find it on my Facebook page as well as in any of my videos here on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. So thank you in advance. There's also a list of the products I'm using. Some of those have links to Craftworld. Again, they're affiliate, but they'll bring you directly to those products. But if you just click on the Craftworld link, that'll bring you into Craftworld, and anything you purchase there will automatically give me a little kickback. There's measurements to the card that I'm going to make. Any adjustments that I make, I will edit that after the live. And yeah, I think that's everything. So let's pop down to the table and I'll show you what we're working with today. I'm so excited. I've just spotted Tammy has actually joined us, and Sarah Louise, welcome this morning. I know it's a little bit bright over here, but yeah, I don't know if I can do much about that because the sun is going in and out. So lighting, that's an issue when you're not in a proper studio. I have on the desk the card that I made on Wednesday's live. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. This was made using the 6x6 floral pop-up mechanism die set. And in case you missed it, we I made a load of flowers. I die cut them all out, and then together we made up the flowers and we added them to the pop-up, and I had loads left over. So that's all what was left over I've made into flowers, and I'll put them with the collection. So next time I'm making a card, I can use it. But this is the fun card we made. It is, I'm just going to make sure of my measurements. It's a lovely size card. This is going to cost me approximately €3.50 to post from Ireland to anywhere in the world. It's a 7.5 by 7.5 card. It's gatefold card. I've cut half of the mechanism off and added it onto the door there. You could put it on both sides of the door if you wanted. I've also used some of the little bits that fall out when you die cut the flowers. I added them on there to decorate, and I hope you can see them all there. And then I stamped a hooray for today. I don't know if you can see, I later went and added some accent glaze. These lovely little, they look like water drops, onto the card, as well as to the center of all the flowers. It really adds lovely dimension. And then this is the card. When you open it, the whole thing moves and pops up. Now, a little thing I want to share is I found when you stand this up, the flowers can kind of droop down a little bit. So I recommend if you get a bone folder or a pencil or just your fingers, and just give them a little curve so that they actually curve back. I found doing that to all of the flowers, when I stand it up, they actually sit beautifully. It's kind of hard to show you, but when this is standing, it looks so similar to how it is now. So if you do make this card and you find that your flowers are drooping down, they're not, you know, popping up like this, but more like that, then curve your flowers and that will help. And you can see all the lovely flowers there are water droplets that I've put on using Sam's accent glaze, as well as the little dots that came out of the card. I love this card, and I see making lots more. And then on the back, we used one of the sentiments from one of Sam's stamps, as well as a couple more of the flowers, just to pull what's going on in the outside and inside to the back. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning, because I felt that tip was an important tip for you all to have when dealing with that pop-up. And as brand ambassador, I didn't want to leave you hanging. You know, I kind of like, if I learn something or I have a tip I can share with you, I do like to share that. So today I am going to be using this Spread Your Wings mechanism. It's a DL. Well, it's not a DL, but Sam's design was for it to go into a DL size card. Now, you know me. Yeah, I like to kind of mess with that a bit and think outside the box. Anyway, this is all the dies. I was missing one out of the whole collection. All I was missing was one. Now it does say 41 dies on the pack. I did get 41 dies, but I had two of the butterflies, two the same, were doubled up. So in packaging and everything, the count was correct. It was just two of the butterflies went in. But I have another one. I contacted Nicola and she straight away popped another one into the post for me. Now it has been delayed because it has gone through Irish customs, and I think some of them are on their hollybobs, just like Sam, but they're a mirror image. This one is a mirror image of that one. So I was able to just die cut from the back and put it through. And you'll see that I have everything ready here to go. So this is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to use this die. There, like you've seen, there is so much metal in this collection and lots on it. So you can really voom up your card by die cutting all the extras out and adding them to it. But what I'm going to basically do is show you how you can make it, and then you can add to it whatever you like. And hopefully it'll encourage you to put this in other card sizes. So I'm going to move that off to the side. I have all the products that I'm using, and as I mentioned, I did list them down below. I do have a lovely blind for the window, right? But when we put it up, the pull and pull is on the other side of the window. So I'm going to get hubby to flip it around. So when I want to lower and open the blind, it will be on this side and make it so much easier. Anyway, these are all the products that I'm going to be using, and anything extra that I pull in during the live, I will actually add to the list in the description. So I'm using the Showstopper Additions pattern paper, and this one would be lovely with what I'm doing. And I will talk about that when I pull everything in and start creating. I'm using the actual butterfly one. It's this one here at the front, but I think this one would be fab as well. So I'm using that paper pad. I'm also using the background scenes. I wanted a background for behind my butterfly, so I've pulled that in. I've also used the stamp set from the Verses and Sentiments stamp set. I've used Your Birthday is the Perfect Opportunity to remind you what a wonderful person you are. So if you have any of these products, you'll be able to use them. Of course, I'm going to use the big birthday word and shadow with the happy. This is out of stock, but there is a link to the Mixed Up Crafters Buy, Sell, Swap group down in the description again. So you can always put out a call there if anyone has it and they're selling. There's lots of muckers, people who are purchasing the Mixed Up Crafts Made to Surprise range that, you know, sell on that group. So if there's something you want that you haven't got, go in there and you never know, you might find it. I've also used a stamp from, this was a Paper Craft Society stamp. It's from box 15. I wanted the little butterfly stamp with the little didgeridoo. I'm sure Sam has something similar in one of the collections, but this was right at the front of my basket where I keep those stamps, and I was like, that's gonna do. And then finally, I'm using a scalloped circle die from this Nesting Scallop Circles. You don't have to use a scalloped circle. You can just take a plate and draw around it. Or if you do have circle dies, any circle dies will do. But this I felt kind of gave the flower vibe I'm going for. So that is all the products. Now let's have a look first. I know I'm keeping you really waiting. I have a little sneak peek of what I'm doing with the butterfly there. Did you catch it? I'm so excited to share it with you. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Lynette said, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous, Tez. Oh, don't say that. Teacher is late. Who's late? Oh, is Sam in the... I might have missed. Let's see. Mary Hopkins has joined us from Western Australia. There's lots of conversation going on in the chat, which I love. I hope you're all making friends with each other in the chat as well. Jules asks, can I ask people what you use for doing your own sentiments, poems? I don't have the word, thank you. Well, the thing is, if you have a nice birthday die, then what you can do is die cut it out. But if you put the birthday die itself down on a piece of cardstock and draw around the shape of the die, you can then fussy cut that out and it will give you your shadow. And you can do that for any die that you have that you particularly want a shadow for. If you have a cutting machine like a Cricut or a scan and cut, you can actually go into that and you can make up fonts on that and words and do shadows from that as well. And another thing you can do is you can die cut out your birthday word, stick it onto a piece of cardstock that you want for your background, and then fussy cut around that, leaving a little border so you see your background shadow. So if you don't have those dies, you know, that's what we originally did when we wanted a background shadow for doing that. Okay, I think there's a little conversation going on about IKEA. Lynn has said, hi Simone, sorry I'm a bit late. Well, no worries, Lynn. There's no one put to the back of the class if you're late here. What else? Morning, Simone, Ali said. Good morning, Ali Bush. And Carmen has reminded you all to thumbs up. And Karen, actually it's Karina. It's kind of hard when you see the, you know, the at name for people to make out the full name. But I think we're caught up with everyone and with the chat there as well. Okay, good morning, Winifred and Deborah. So now we're moving on. Okay, so I have my ruler here. So I have taken a 8x8 card blank, which is actually, I know I drone on, it's 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 if you're buying one. So this one measures 7 7/8, it's meant to be 8, by 6 inches. That's the size of my card base that I've made. Now, I want to share a tip with you before I go any further. If you have a C5, that's a half an A4 envelope, and I made a note of it here, you can actually use this size. It's just for a document, you know, envelope for when you make your 6x8 cards. Now you can, there are, if you have the We Are Memory Keepers envelope board or any of those, you can make them up yourself. But there's enough room around this that if you have a bulky card, it'll fit in there. And what I generally do is I just decorate the envelope generally with a piece of pattern paper maybe that I've used in the card. I'll stamp the different pieces from Sam's postage stamp set, and I've added the little butterfly. That butterfly is the Papercraft Society one. I coloured it in with an Ohuhu marker. And if you can see, I've added some glossy accents. I love doing that over the airmail. And I've coloured that in. And a little bit of accent glaze on the tip of the wings. And then just decorated the back. And I find that that works brilliant when I'm doing it for, we'll say, an 8x6 envelope or card base. So the C5 envelopes are really good for this size, and I left that out to show you. And I also get the A4 white document envelopes as well, and I use them sometimes if I'm making a bigger card that, you know, when it folds flat it's bigger. I'll use that and I cut that down, and I have a really handy tip for doing that, but I will share that with you next time. So on our 7 7/8 by 6 card base, which is going to be a top folding card, I'm going to add onto that a piece of pattern paper, and this is the butterfly paper. Now you might say that it's non-directional. Well, I think it is directional. That's going to sit over the top of this. Now I'm not doing a matte layer in my pink holographic, which is what I'm going to use throughout the card. I don't feel it needs it because I'm putting a topper on it. Now my pattern paper, and like I said, the measurements are down below in the description, is 7 5/8 by 5 3/4, and that's going to go on there. And then I have a topper, which I've used the same scallop die as what I'm going to use inside. And my topper measures, and like I said, you can use just a regular circle, or you can do a rectangle or an arch, whatever. I'm keeping the outside basic because I want the inside to be left open by the recipient. So this one is 4 1/8 in diameter, and my white one is 3 3/8 in diameter. And I've taken a Today is All About You made to surprise stamp, and I've put some foam on the back. So that's what's going to be on the front of our card. on the back of our card, I have 3 pieces. I have a piece of holographic cardstock, and this measures 7 5/8 by 5 3/4. Onto that, I'm going to add a white piece where I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and this is 7 3/8 by 5 1/2. And then onto that, I'm just pulling in the pattern paper from the front, and this piece measures 7 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch, and that'll go on the back there. We'll stamp a sentiment on the back of this, and this will give us somewhere to write our message. So then we're moving on to the inside of our card. And on the inside of our card, we're nearly there. I have a piece of pattern paper. Again, this is my scenes piece, and this piece measures 7 5/8 by 5 3/4. And then the piece that I cut off the bottom, I've kept that. So I'm going to add this to the inside. And if I move this over a little bit, so this piece is going to go on here. And then this piece is going to go on here. And then I've taken a piece of green card from my stash. This is just the original little cardstock. I've gone around the outside using a distress green ink, and I have cut a little hillside, because if you see on the pattern paper, we have hillsides kind of images. And what I've done is I've cut this to, again, 7 5/8, but I cut it a bit longer than 4 inches. I'd say I cut it to 4 1/2 by 7 7/8, and then I put a little wavy hill on that, and I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm going to match it up like that, and I'm just going to make sure that my border on these 3 sides are the same, and that kind of gives that whole image of a background scene. And then I have some twinkles from Love from Lizzie. You know I love using the Love from Lizzie twinkles, and because we're using holographic cardstock in our make, that's why I'm going with those. I'm using the silver, but Lizzie has them in all colors. I've got my birthday and my happy. I've also got my beautiful, which is a background and word dies from this collection, so I've used that. I thought happy birthday beautiful would be lovely on it. I've also got a couple of the birds die cut out. I have my sentiment, and then I have 2 of these. Now this is optional, and you'll see why when we get to making. These are pop-ups that's going to lift top and bottom, and I'm going to show you how in a moment, but I've done one in white because it will match what's going on here in this, and then I've one in green in my cardstock to match what's going on down here. So these measure 4 inches by 1 3/4, and they don't have to be this wide. You can do it as wide or as thin as you want, and I have scored this at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, and then at 2 1/2, 3 and 3 1/2. So we're going to fold a mountain, a valley, a mountain, and then a mountain, a valley, a mountain. Now these are what we call springs. If you don't burnish them, if you literally just, you know, go along them with your fingers, they'll give you quite a dimension in your spring. So when it goes in the envelope, it goes flat, and when it comes out of the envelope, it'll pop up. But I went over these with my burnishing tool. I flattened these down. I don't want them to pop up too much, but I want a bit of dimension. You could just use a piece of foam if you want, or you can stick the part this is going on straight down. So you'll see that in a minute. Now, let's move on to what I wanted to put in the center. So I had this idea. Wouldn't it be fun to die cut out, let's see, to die cut out our butterfly on a circle? And that's what I've done. This circle measures 7 3/8. That's the diameter of it. And I've popped it into the middle, and I hope you can see it all there. Now what I want to do is, this was my trial piece. I want it to look like it's a flower set in the middle, hence the reason why I went with the scallops, the scallop edge. I've done some ink blending in the center, and this is Distress Oxide Wild Honey. And I'm going to add all the little pieces that go on it. And I have some of them ready to go here. I've used that lovely pink, and I'm using a silver holographic. I've taken the butterfly itself, and what I did was I die cut this out in black, and then I cut off. You can see where this is actually joined here at the top and at the bottom. I cut it off, so I literally just die cut this area. My butterfly is going to sit on top of my piece like so. We're going to have this lovely yellow background. Sit on there, little butterfly, so I can show everyone. Anyway, you get the gist. My lovely wings are going to sit on here like so. So it's going to be like this beautiful big butterfly has landed on this flower in this background scene. And I just thought that would be something different. So that's what I'm going to go with. Now, when I'm going to be ink blending on this, these sides here, they don't have a matte layer other than this little piece here, which will go in on both sides, and there's a smaller one there, and I don't want that to be yellow, so I'm going to actually mask those off. Now I've taken some masking paper, and I have just die cut out the wings and the body, so I can put this on this one over here, and then I can do my ink blending on that. But if you don't have masking paper, then just cut out the wings in some of your regular cardstock, and then you can just lie that over the top and do your ink blending around as well. So I just thought it would be nice not to have these colored in yellow, so that the whole thing looks properly like the butterfly set down on the top of our flower. So that's where we're going with today's make, and I hope you like the idea as much as I do. I've got some of the inlay here to go into our pieces, and we'll do that together. I did one side, I figured we'd do the other side together as well. So what do you all think? Do you like this idea? Ted said that's a song, Simone. Oh, Cara's busy making a quick pizza dough for their tea tonight. Amanda Marlowe has joined us. Morning, Simone and fellow muckers, from a cooler 29 degrees in Spain. They had a huge storm there yesterday. Caroline said that's a brilliant idea. Hazel said great idea, Simone. Carmen Vogel's brilliant composition. Marie said, oh, wow. Tez gave it a thumbs up, and Lynn said, it sounds cool. Brilliant. Well, I'm glad you like the idea. I was so excited about it. I had a couple of ideas with this collection, and this was the first idea that I had with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my mats and layers on together. Once we get that all done and the card can be literally drying, we'll then move on to popping our insert in. And like I said, where the flower is going to go on here, that's what I'm going to use these little pop-ups for. You can either stick this right down onto the card base, or you can have it so that this will pop up here and the bottom one will pop up here, and then the whole thing will be down. So it will give a little bit of lifted dimension, and we can put our happy birthday up here, and then we'll put our beautiful down the bottom here. And I've got the little birds, then I figured we'd put one or two of them up in the sky. But like I said, once you have this idea, you could literally run with it, and you can decorate it in any way that, you know, you like yourself. So let's go ahead then and do that. Let's go and add our mats and layers onto our card style and our card base, and then we can come back to doing the butterfly. Now you might be wondering what I wanted with the Ohuhu marker. I have a Ohuhu, it's called Potato Brown. Lovely name. It's YR313. And what I thought I would do, in case you wondered, I hope you can see what the little dots were. Like flowers definitely have the little dots in the center. So I thought I would use that for doing the little flower center. So I have it done on one half and not the other. And I kind of figured we'd see which we prefer when we get to that point, and we can always add that on later. So now, no worries, Lynette. Lynette is chatting with a friend while she is watching, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to use my Kalal glue to glue on the front. I'm going to glue on the front, but I won't do the back until I'm finished, because I'll need to stamp a sentiment on that. And with your help, we can have a look through our stamp sets and decide what birthday sentiment we want to put on there. I used the Make-A-Wish birthday sentiment in the last card with the pop-up flowers, so we can always have a look and see. And just a reminder as well, if there is something that you want to say and you want to catch my attention, if you want to add if you have a question or anything, then do it in capital letters, and that way I'll see it. Because you know, with the chat going and everyone is chatting to each other, yeah, it'd be nice to spot when you guys are actually wanting my attention. Okay, so I have just stuck the pattern paper on the front. I'm going to stick on the pattern paper, etc., on the inside, and then that can be drying. The Kalal glue will set. So whether you're using a double-sided tape or maybe you're using a white glue, it just allows that to dry while we're doing the rest. So how are you all this morning? Have you any plans for today or the weekend? Have any of you fun plans for your weekend? I got a lovely text from my daughter yesterday evening, who's over in Rome with her partner. And I got a lovely picture of her sharing an engagement ring. So I'm so delighted and pleased for them. So in case you're watching later, Megan and Dennis, congratulations. I'm chuffed for them. And tomorrow we are going to visit my mother and father-in-law. My lovely mother-in-law was a chiropodist, among many other things. And yeah, I generally do her feet for her. She used to do mine. She used to do reflexology for me. And so I love popping around, you know, every couple of weeks and doing her chiropody for her. It's a nice way to give back, you know. So we're going for a visit to the in-laws, and I think a calm Sunday will be had. I'll probably get hubby to turn that blind around, and I have lights, a new light ordered for the craft room, so hopefully because I'm kind of happy enough with my light down on the table, but I'm not happy with the background light. And I'm hoping that with the background light improved, it will also improve everything. Do you know, the whole setup? So fingers crossed that's gonna work for me. And I'm very lucky hubby will be able to set that up when it comes. So now that's the inside of our card, and I love extending. I think if you're doing maybe an 8x8 card and you have your scene but you wanted to pull it down further, that's a really cool way of extending your scene as well. Sarah is going to see Nile Rodgers later and can't wait. Congrats to your daughter and son-in-law. Lots of congratulations. That's lovely. Wonderful news. Create with Katerina has joined us. Thanks for popping in, Katerina. Another amazing crafter. Yeah, it's lovely to have you, whatever you're doing with your morning. Thank you. Julie Williams said, Simone, I found the glue gun that you have in the UK, ordered from Bumbleberry Crafts yesterday, and it's coming tomorrow. Can't wait. It will make my crafting so much easier. Oh, I'm delighted that you have found that. Yeah, I love, mine is actually over there on the shelf. Okay, so we have that done. I'm going to leave that now for it to dry, and I'm going to get on with now I'm not putting the topper on. I'll do that as a finish. So I think what I will do is take a quick little drink of tea. Tez said, Julie, you won't be disappointed. I got one last month and use it all the time. Oh, that's lovely. Have a quick drink before it gets cold, because you know yourself it's going to get cold. Right, I'll pop that up there. Now I figure what we'll do is we'll do some ink blending on our butterfly, and that way then it could dry. So hopefully now these will be easy enough to get off. I just bought a pack of these. I think it had 50 sheets or something in it. And again, they're C4 or half an A4 size. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Lovely. Hopefully now. Oh, wrong side. Hopefully now they're not too sticky. I'm going to just put it on my jeans there because I don't want it too sticky. And then it's just that side that I need to. Lovely. That'll do nicely. And we'll grab the other one. And you don't have to do this. You know, you could just get a piece of cardstock, and where you're doing your ink blending, just kind of, or a piece of computer paper, and just move it along with where you're doing your ink blending, you know. But I just wanted to be sure. And as I got this last week, I was like, well, I have it. I bought it for masking, so I might as well use it for that purpose. So yeah. Okay. Now that means these side pieces here, which got inked on them there, you can see it there. That just means that those now are not going to have any ink. It's going to stay in the middle. Now you don't need to cover the butterfly because we've got our cut out butterfly. But if you wanted to leave your butterfly white, then you could mask it as well. And as I cut the whole lot out, I'll just quickly use that too. And I'll keep these masks. I'll stick it onto the inside of the plastic packaging that I keep my die set in. And then it'll be handy to use if I ever want to use it again. So maybe we'll stick this on here. about right. That'll do. Lovely. And then I've got a little, I have a piece that I put down to cover my desk. I don't really think we need it because we're kind of sticking to the center of our scallop, but sure, I have it there. I'll use it. That sunlight is really bugging me. I don't know if it's, let me just, there we go. Hopefully I don't go knocking everything off the windowsill. Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. There we go. Okay, so I'm using Wild Honey Distress Oxide, and I'm going to, and you can kind of tap off a little bit. So I'm just going to start in the middle. I want it to be heavier in the middle because, you know, a flower is generally darker in the middle than it is on the outside. And then we'll bring the color out. And I kind of want it about that much. I want to be able to see it once the butterfly has all its panels on, you know. Yeah, so if we're going out, we kind of need to go out about that much. Yeah, that looks about right. And then we'll have, oh, excuse me, I have a little tickle in my throat. Then we'll have that there, and that will sit there like that. And that one will sit down there like that. So something like that. I think that's going to look really cool. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to allow that to dry. Move that out of the way. And we'll let that dry. And once that's dry, then I'll take off the covers on that. And then we can go ahead and do some assembly. So the next thing I want to do is, I have my wings done here. I die cut these out and have them ready to go. Can you use any other brand of glue in the glue gun? Yeah, you can, Rita. In the glue press, the My Sweet Petunia one, it comes with a full bottle of tonic glue. And I also got an empty tonic bottle, so you can put whatever glue that you like to use in it. And the tonic glue is a water-based glue, so you could, when the bottle is empty, if you're not going to put back in the tonic glue, you could give your bottle a good wash out. And I would let it drain, and maybe let it drain overnight so it dries really well. And then you can take that and add whatever. So you could have your, you know, your Kalal or your Beacon or whatever glue you like to use in one bottle, and then you could have your quick dry glue in the other if you wanted. So yeah, but if you get it and it just comes with one bottle and it's a full bottle of tonic glue, then once you're done with it, you know, once it's empty, give it a really good wash out. I would use a little bit of, you know, dish soap in the bottle with some warm water. That's what I did with the accent glaze. When I was finished with this bottle, I did that, and then once it was dry, I filled it with Kalal instead. And I love the tip on these bottles. So, you know, I think once it's a water-based glue, you can clean out the bottle and you can put in whatever you like then. I also have a little, like a ball head pin that I have in the top of mine. You don't need to add this in, because when it sits in here, there's a little rubber base, the red one at the bottom, so it sits into that and it stops the glue from coming out. But when I finish in the craft room, I like to pop a pin in it, because I found, for me, whether it's the temperature in my room or the humidity, it would get a little bit snotty, and I found it hard to get it out, to start coming out. So that really worked for me. Okay, so I have die cut out my background, and can you imagine put a little dot for an eye and a little circle like an open mouth? Wouldn't that make a great ghost? Ooh, for Halloween. That is just, it made me think of a little ghost. So if you're looking for a ghost for Halloween, you can always use that background dye. I thought that was fun. And again, I have my intricate cut, and then I have the pieces that will go on the side below the wing. And then I have also got the filler pieces. So I have them all in there and ready to go. So I think that's what we'll do next. We will glue those pieces together, and I'm going to use my glue press to do that. Cara said the sun was why I moved my craft room into my living room. It was annoying me. Yeah, you were in your like conservatory, wasn't it, Cara? The room I was in, I had a big room. It was literally twice the size of this one. That I had no issues with shadow and stuff down there, but I just kind of felt I was all the way down the other end of the house. And this room really was a guest room. So it meant I could put all my bits and pieces in here because I shared the bigger room with Mike. And he had some of his things that he likes to use. T-shirt presses and printers and stuff like that. So he moved them all out into the garage, which is now his workshop. And I came down here. So now we have a nice big bedroom, which means when my daughter comes over from the Netherlands, it's a big enough room now that, you know, if one of the kids want to go in with them, they have room. So I just know that I can close the blind down, and if I have good lighting in here and the room is illuminated enough, I won't have any issues. At the moment, I've got a warm bulb in the ceiling light. So it's a yellowish bulb, so it's not helping with background lighting. So hopefully once I get that installed, it will help make a difference. But at the end of the day, I'm just a lady in my craft room, you know, sharing my makes with you rather than just crafting by myself. Do you know? That's all it is. So yeah, there's no production team here or anything, so I'm not going to worry about it. Becky has joined us. Becky is in America. Good morning, Becky. She just woke up. Missed you cutting it out. I didn't cut anything out because I knew it would take time with all the rest of the stuff. And the dies are pretty much explanatory. Stick them on a piece of cardstock and die cut them all out. With my circle piece, what I did was I put my circle die down on my cardstock. Now I did use my Big Shot Plus to die cut that out. And what I actually did was I put the butterfly die in with the circle die, and I put the two of them through together. Now you can do the circle first and then die cut out your butterfly, or vice versa. But it was fairly easy to kind of line up my gaps where I wanted them. And then all we have to do is fold this in half when we get to that part. So yeah. And all these pieces I've die cut out. I've done one half. I'm just going to glue and assemble the rest of them together with you. So yeah. Benita said, Simone was all prepared, Becky. You didn't miss anything. No, all you missed was the chats. Me gabbing on as usual. Cara said, yeah, my conservatory was cold in the winter and I felt disconnected from the house in a weird way. So my living room is L-shaped, so I have the L. Well, that works. You can have the, you know, the shorter piece as your little crafting area. And you have young kids as well. So, you know, you can be in your craft room while they're in the sitting room playing or whatever they're doing, you know. So that's always good. So now we need to do the intricate bits. So these pieces are for this side on these, and then these pieces are for this side. So I kept them together because yeah, I kind of figured if I had them all in together, I'd be trying to pick them out and I'd be struggling. So hence the reason I have them in there, so I know what's layered out. So you can either glue the back of your intricate, you know, pieces that you're inlaying, or you can put it on the actual piece itself. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add the glue in here. I'm going to dot a little bit of glue onto my tweezers, and then I'm going to use that to pick up. So that will go here. That's a heavier piece now. And they should all just pop in there really nicely. And then we have this piece. Katarina asks what dies Simone is using. So at the moment I am using the Spread Your Wings, the DL Spread Your Wings mechanism die set. This was from the July collection. And rather than put it into a DL card, like what Sam has shown in her demos and her videos, I thought I would put it into a 8x6 card, and I thought I would kind of change up how the die goes in. Like, I don't know if you've seen, I've put it onto a die cut circle, so it's going to pop up like so, and it's going to look like a flower when the whole thing closes over. Now this has been through the mill, so it kind of struggles, but when it's in the card, the whole thing closes over. So yeah, it's going to be lovely. Okay, so this one next. Cara said that's her issue as well, lighting in the sitting room. Yeah. Well, I'm really lucky that I have Mike and we're in a bungalow. So, you know, to add any lighting, if there's cables to go up in the attic, it's literally right above our head. You know, there isn't a floor, you know, with bedrooms or whatever above us. But because I have the pendant light here, it can just get attached to the electrics from the pendant light. Okay, we're cooking on gas now. And when I was pulling out all these holographics, I was definitely thinking of our glitter queen, Katarina. I was like, oh, Katarina will love this. There's so much glitter, bling, shine from it. Okay. Flip that over. It goes that way around. There we go. Pop that in. So that's the other side done. And now for this one. The newest launch. Yes, that's going to be, the next launch is going to be on Monday the 24th. Sam will go live with that collection. So that's brilliant. I love the idea that it's going to be on a Monday or a Tuesday rather than a Friday, because it just means it's got all week to travel over. Whereas if it was going out on a Friday, then it gets collected by Every, and then it kind of stalls until the Monday. So it's really, I prefer it to go out on those days. And it was delayed this month. There were things going on, so it put them off. There was a delay initially, and then Sam had holidays booked, etc. So Yeah, so there we go. And sure, look, didn't you get your fill of Made to Surprise this week? I didn't let you down by going live. So I hope you have enjoyed that. And I'm so thankful to Sam. She allowed me to share in the Mixed Up Crafters group as well. So any of you who are new to my channel would have seen that as well. So that was really nice. But you know, I know as brand ambassador, that's why she was happy to do that. I'd also like to give a shout out as well to Hayley, who's the design team members. She had some lovely cards for this collection and inspiration. Hayley has been unwell, and I think she shared a post on her YouTube group. So if you're not familiar with Hayley, Hayley is the design team. She's the DT for Sam. And yeah, she started a YouTube channel and everything. So, and she has a Facebook group as well. Okay, we're just finished with the wing now. Brilliant. And you know, these pieces that you've cut out and the pink pieces, you can always keep those, and you know, you'll be making two for one. So if you know, I've got the pink inserts that came out of here that I can put in there and add to another butterfly, so I can make that, you know, on my own time kind of thing, and have two cards for the price of one. So that's always really good. Okay, so we have that done now. I have some of the insert bits from that, so I'm going to keep those, and I have those ones there as well. And that, now what I think we'll do is we will move on to our butterfly. And Katarina just put up a load of sparkle in the comments. Hopefully this all comes off now nicely. And I'm pushing down on the masking and pulling it back. Don't pull it up like that. You'll definitely tear your cardstock, and just take your time. And that looks really, really nice. Oh, lovely. I hope the other two go just as well as that one. Nice. Okay, and I'm gonna stick that on there. I'm going to stick that onto the plastic for the actual dies for this, and that way I'll have them. I've got the backing papers as well, but that might be easier if I stick them onto the plastic, because you know, if they're floating around in there, they might end up getting lost. Okay. There we go. Have any of you used this? I know Tez has. How did you find the folding of it? Did you find it a bit fiddly, or did you find it easy enough? I know some people found the pop-up flowers a little bit hard. Oops. Because there were tight little folds. So how did you all get on? Good evening from Australia, Sharon. Sharon, let's art today. I love that. Cool name. Is over in Australia. So good evening. Oh, thank you, Hazel. Hazel said we appreciated you filling in for Sam. Okay, let's hope now that this comes off. Yes, okay. Very carefully. Nice one. 55 watching. Oh, hi, Lynn. Good morning. It's still morning. Thank you guys to all of you who are watching. I really, really appreciate it. It's so lovely of you to take the time to spend it with me. I really, really appreciate it. Becky said she found it a lot fiddly. That's the butterfly you found fiddly, or the flowers. Tez says, I have the flower one, but not this butterfly one. Oh, Tez, I thought you would have had this one. Now, the folding of this is going to be fun. I think what I might do is add my butterfly down first. Now, I have the folding for that done. So it's a valley and then a mountain. And then I think this one is a mountain, the top one here across the top of the antenna. I was trying to think, God, what are these things called on the butterfly? They're antenna. Or what we call them in Ireland, zagabongs. And I know that probably sounds really weird to a lot of you, but if any of you know who Zig and Zag, they were puppets on Irish TV many, many years ago. They had antenna, but they called them zagabongs. So I might actually add the glue on here. Be easier for me to see. Now you could cut these apart if you were worried about the score lines, but I'm going to wing it, pun intended, and hopefully it'll work. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to try the things, and if they work, then you can try them too. Okay. Oh, lovely. I love that. Lovely. So that's a mountain and that's a valley. Yes, now I have that one here. So, I mean, I would really recommend die cut this out. Even if it's just on a regular piece of cardstock, it doesn't have to be on a circle. And kind of play with how the mechanism works. And that way then you can see how it's meant to go. Because once you play with it, you see, you'll then learn what way it needs to fold. So when you're doing something like this, you'll have it as a reference. So I will have that now as a reference for this one. So I know that fold needs to be a valley there where the antenna are. And then by the head is a mountain, and then the neck is a valley. And then I know that this fold along here needs to be a valley, and so does this fold. And then this fold here needs to be a mountain. And you can go over the score lines. Now I've used 300 GSM cardstock for this. So you might decide, do you know what, I'm going to use the 250. You can also go over the score lines as well. So I'm doing this in real time with you because I wanted you to see how it works for me. Do you know, as much as I'm brand ambassador, and I love that, I'm also very honest because I purchase the made to surprise products. So, do you know, it was the same when I was a designer for Love from Lizzie. Although I was getting the kit for free, I did say to Lizzie, like, I'm always going to be honest regarding, you know, the kits and stuff. And she was happy with that. And I think Sam is too. So I have those, and I'm just pinching. Oh, Cara said, oh, first Becky said the butterfly she didn't find easy. Yeah, it takes time. It does take time. And then this one here is going to be a valley, and this one along here is going to be a mountain. So that's going to fold like that. Then I'm going to come over to the other side, and I'm going to do the whole thing again. Cara said, Gracie May has been raising and hatching butterflies this summer. Oh, wow. We got a butterfly life cycle kit and they're releasing them today. Oh my gosh. That is savage. Wow. I never knew you could do that. That is so cool, Cara. So again, I'm just pushing my finger in to where the middle is there and pinching. And as much as it's not easy, do you know, it's not hard either. Like, it's not the worst of them, you know. And again, maybe I could have gone with a little lighter cardstock. 300 GSM mightn't have been the best cardstock to go with. So our body wants to pop out when we're folding this over. We've got a fold line here and a fold line here. So either side here and here are valleys. So we're pushing that in. We've got a valley fold here as well and here. And we're just going to bring the whole thing in. That folds down. This folds out. Now remember, I've doubled up this one and that one. So it's just a matter of encouraging the paper where we want it to go. And we have our pieces that are going to go on over those. So our butterfly, and I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just taking my time. Yeah, that needs to... I think the hardest part of this is making sure the butterfly sits in the right way. Okay, we're nearly there. We are nearly there. And again, I could have done all this off screen and made it look so easy, but okay, come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Now, and once that is coming together nicely, and once we know where we're going with this, it will automatically go in once we've it done, because you can see it there, look, that all folds down. It just took the time to get it to fold in. And like I said, I've used 300 GSM cardstock, which mightn't have been the best thing to use, admittedly. Yeah, so that folds down like that. And that one falls in there like that. And I'm just burnishing those with my fingers. And that falls in like that. And that folds down. Oh, we're getting there. And I'm just being super slow and super careful because I don't want to break it while I'm here live with you guys. Yeah, so that is folding there. And that is folding there. Why is that not going down now? There we go. There we go. So I'm going to get my bone folder, which is here, and I'm going to very carefully burnish those. Lovely. I'm sorry now I'm missing the chat. I'm sure Sam would agree. 250 cardstock, but it worked for this one. See, it works perfectly for this one. It's just a matter of getting it. Could be now. Oh, look. There we go. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Look at that. So our butterfly will move in and out. Love it. So, recommendation, maybe don't go for 300 GSM cardstock. Maybe 220, 250 might be a good one to use if you have it. But, I mean, it does look really well. Okay, so we are then going to pop that in here, like so. How does that look? Doesn't that look great? And then, like I said, the top here will lift out a bit and the bottom here will lift out. Now you could draw a little shape that you have for, you know, the bottom of the flower, but I just wanted to give the idea of it being a flower. Let's see what was in. The problem I had is the folding the body. Yeah, Becky, I totally get that. And I think once you do it and the cardstock remembers it, it will work. But you can see there, look, the whole thing. Now there is bulk. Again, I'm using 300 GSM cardstock. But you can see there, look, the whole thing. It does fit in there really, really nicely. So I'm very pleased with that. So I'm basically now, I am going to glue this in place here along the middle, along the score line in those 4 areas. And then it will be attached by our little pop-ups. One will go here like this. It'll glue onto the back there. And then that glue will glue on here. So it will sit in like that on our card. So that's the plan. Now, I think it might be a good idea to decorate this before we go much further. And then I know that's done. Like I said, this is my first time doing it, so I'm kind of winging it. Pun intended. But yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will add these pieces in. Now, Sam did say when you're adding these in, not to bring the edge here down to the score line here, to raise it up just a little bit. It'll sit better, it'll close better, etc. I'm going to use my quick grab glue and I'm going to add my glue onto this part here. And then I can put them in and give them a little minute to dry. I know the quick grab is quick grab, but it still takes a couple of seconds. Okay, so we'll pop that one in here. And I'm just lining it up with the edge along here. Love that. Lynette, Manic Stitcher, said, I'm back. I found the butterfly hard to do as well. I think with a little bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it. I do think these kind of folds can be hard, especially depending on your dexterity as well. I love the house and the birthday cake, but I think they're my 2 least favorite dies, if I'm being honest, and I do like to keep it honest. I found those 2, the amount of faffing with the having to pinch and fold and everything. They are cards that I only make for very special people, and I think I've only made 2 of them. So again, this edge is along here, and I'm just pressing it from behind there with my fingers. You could also put your scoring tool back there, you know, and use that to help you with pressing it down. Oh, look. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Okay, let's get on with the other 2 and get them in. And maybe if I bring it closer to me, it might help. A little bit of concentration there now while I'm doing that. I did go over the edge with the glue, so I'm just going to wipe that away. And again, I'm not bringing it right down to the score line. I'm bringing it just above, and I'm bringing it over to the edge there. So I'm lining up with this edge, and then I'll pull it down, but just keeping it raised up just a little bit. Should be able to fold. Lovely. Nice. Got a bit of pressure there from the back as well. Jenny is talking about the weather. Chalk and cheese. I think Jenny is in America, Townsville. Tez says, encouraging means cursing and swearing to make it fold. Yeah, well, you can't do that when you're live on a YouTube broadcast. Oh, it's funny. Okay, and then the last wing. So I'm taking my time with doing this, guys. I want it to be right, you know, so I'm just taking my time. So I hope that's okay with you all. Pop this wing in now. But I have to say, this really does, it looks so well. I mean, I think anyone getting this is going to be blown away. And I don't mean as in this card, but this pop-up style in a card. Do you know? Again, I'll pop that down there just to add pressure close to the fold. Oh, that's lovely. And the wings actually tuck under this part of the body when it closes. And the whole thing then closes down. Lovely. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so before I add it in again, I'm just going to pop these pieces in. Now I think they go in like that. So I'm going to add one at a time, and I'll use my tweezers to hold this. And then we'll put the inlay in as well. And we'll see how that looks. Okay. I'll try and get that centered in there. Lovely. Did I add glue to the bottom? I did. Okay. Nice. And then we have our inlay pieces. I think that way. Is that the right piece now? Let's try that again. Actually, if I check it with this piece, oh no, is that the right piece for there? Nope. Yes, that goes there. So this is the pieces for in there. And it goes that way. Okay. I love doing jigsaws, but I'm not very good at them. Okay. And nice. Oh, that looks so nice in there at the edge. And then we have the piece up here. I think adding the liquid into the actual wing itself. Where am I taking that from now? Does that go in here? Sugar. No, I think that goes onto this one. Darn. Yeah, it does. Looking at the curve. Yes. Okay. And then the little dot for the bottom. Oh, come on. There we go. Get in there. Nice. Okay. Oh, this looks so pretty. All right, so we've these pieces now to go in. So we're getting there, folks. How are we doing for time? 10 to 12. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll add some glue to these pieces. Let's see. Ah, yes. Tez is saying, just remember, ladies, it's only paper. And we have no shortage of that in our craft rooms. So cut another and have another go. I agree, Tez. If it should bring you joy. So it should. There we go. This is actually more fiddly than the butterfly itself, getting these bits on. So I'm just putting my fingers behind, adding a little pressure because I don't want it to be lifted anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I want to make sure that it's set in there nicely. Okay, so I'm going to add the adhesive there to, where is that piece? That's the one I want. There we go. And a little bit of glue in here. Oh, Tez has got thunder on the way and the wind. Patience is a virtue, Becky said. Kay is there. Kay, thanks for watching. She's got to go, but thanks for watching, Kay. Oh, I think I have that around the wrong way, do I? Yes, that way is the right way. Well worth doing. Every crease carefully, yeah. Lots of patience needed when folding the butterfly flower. Maureen found. Becky said, when I looked at the die more, the middle lines do not seem to be lined up on the die. No, but I think once it goes into the fold, once you put it into the card and it then folds correctly. It just looks like it doesn't. Where's my big dot? There. I think I would have liked these to have a background piece like the wings. I think it would make it easier. But all said and told, like, they do go in nicely. Now I've just got the bottom pieces to do. So let's see, there's one there. Which one goes where now? That's the fun. Nope, that doesn't go there. That one goes there. Okay. Okay. I really need to go to Specsavers and get my eyes checked. I feel like I'm here going, right, so there's a curve edge on this end here where my thumb is, and that matches up the curve end here. Stop moving. Just be careful you don't get glue everywhere. And if you do, make sure it dries. Yeah, I think I would have liked these to have had a backing. I think it would have made it easier to assemble all that like what we did here and then just stick it in. So while your butterfly is flat, maybe, Simone, that goes in there, lovely. We'll drop that in. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad at all. I'm actually enjoying it. I think if I was, you know, sat at my desk, either with a YouTube video on or crafting with a friend, I think I would be less stressed about it. And definitely flattening out does help. Okay, so that one goes on there. There's a lot of poop going on in the comments. I think it's about broadband. Okay, actually, I've missed a load of comments. But there's a lot. Good heavens, Simone, what a faff this is, Amanda said. It is a bit of a faff, but to be honest, Amanda, if I had flattened the butterfly down a bit, it might have made it easier. Do you know, I've kept it. I think maybe decorate your butterfly before you start folding it all in. But look, I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm, you know, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't as bad as some, you know. I think I'm missing a little dot. Oh no, I'm not. I was about to go, oh no. Yeah, in all honesty, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. The flower one, I thought that would be very faff, but it wasn't. Is that in? I swear I need to go to Specsavers. it doesn't put me off. I would still be inclined to make this, you know, compared to the house and the cake. I would be far more inclined to make this one and the flower one than what I would be to make them, you know. I mean, we're nearly at the end. It's just a matter of putting it in. So you can see, I hope you can see there, where I've used the 300 GSM, there is a little bit of buckling on the cardstock. Now, in the grand scheme of things, does that bother me? Not in the least. I think I'm going to take my marker and do some dots. Do we all agree with the adding a little bit of texture with the dots? Do we like that? Can you give me a quick yes or no, whether you think we should add the dots or not? I think it will look good having them on there. What do we think? Dots. Yeah, okay. All it took was one. I'm going to just do them randomly. Just to give a little bit of texture and dimension. There we go. And I don't want to go much further than that. Okay. And across there. Lovely. Sometimes doing random can become really hard. Okay, I think that, right, I'm gonna put it away. Right, so I'm gonna add some liquid glue through the center score lines. There and there and across there. And I'm gonna sit those in. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then I am going to close that up because I want that to glue in. So I'm just going to take my time. I'm using my tweezers to enhance those. Pushing it in. And then we want that to fold, come up and come out. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that there for a minute, not even, just to give it a chance. While that's doing that, I can pop my Today is All About You on the front. So yeah, and what I'll do is I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive to the back of these, just so it'll give me a little bit of wriggle room, or even wriggle, while those are drying, because I want to make sure that they adhere nicely in there. And then we've got our little pop-ups. Now, if you're not doing the pop-ups, you can add glue to the whole back of the flower. So I think I'm going to add that to the center. Now, if you don't want dimension, because you've enough dimension going on, then totally just glue this straight down. Did you put your pop-up in? Did I miss it? No, Lynn, I've just done it. It's just gone in. Fabulous card, Simone. I have been cleaning out my trolley while watching you, and I made a few discoveries. I love that. I love that. that was the best thing about moving my craft room. I found stuff I totally forgot I had. It was brilliant. Marie Hopkins said, amazing, Simone, worth all the faffing. I think if you make a couple, it becomes less of a faff because you learn like the quick things to do. Oh, yeah. So that's how it looks just glued into the center. But we're going to add our little springs to the back. So, and that will then pull the butterfly wings open. So I think we'll do that next. I do like that. Yay. Okay, something to put behind it. But that be, maybe this is a nice solid. Okay, there we go. Right, so the white one is going behind, and I'm going to add some glue to our little legs there. And I'm going to stick that behind here. And I'm going to fold that flat. Now it doesn't have to be particularly straight. And once we have that on there, then I can add some glue to the back here. Come on, glue press, give me some glue. I'm at the end of the glue in my glue press, so it's a little bit slow to come out. So I'm going to pop that on there, and I'm going to close it down and add a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to flip it over, and then we can add our green one. I love the way that mechanism moves. It's so cool. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this. I just liked the idea of having a little bit of pop-up there. You can glue this straight down if you want. The same with this. Glue all your flower down into place, and then your wings and everything will come up. So I'll add another little bit of glue on this. Oh, Jeanette has joined us. Hi, Jeanette. How are you this lovely Friday afternoon? It is now afternoon. It's just gone after 12:05. So now we'll add some more glue onto our little parts here. And like I said, burnish the score lines if you don't want it popping up as much. You could just as easy put some foam around your flower as well, if you didn't want to use, you know, the pop-ups. More little conversations going on in there. That's lovely. People are asking, what did you find, Anne? Okay, so let's have a look. Isn't that, can you see the way our butterfly wings? I just love that. So the whole thing is all kept within our card, and then when you open it up, our butterfly literally pops out. I love that. So depending on if it's set at a 90 degree, our butterfly wings are closed in and as it's let out. So if this was, you know, glued down, they might open a bit more for you, but I love the little bit of dimension there and everything. Right, so I'm going to pop that behind there. Now what we want to add is our happy birthday. I mean, we could put our birthday on the flower and the happy behind. We'll put the two there. Happy birthday. I think I like that. What do we think of the placement there on the back? Do we like that? Lynette Manic Stitcher says, I love it, Simone. And Pippa said, I didn't get a bam, but I got a savage. Savage, Simone. Thanks, Pippa. Benita reckons it's stunning. Thank you. Yes, Pauline said yes, go with it on the background like that. So does Carmen, so does Caroline. Pippa's got to go. She's been watching in the background. There's workmen with her. Pippa, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And to all the 58 that is in the background there watching, thank you so much for having patience with me. I think I might put a bit of foam back there because it'll balance out all the dimension that's going everywhere else. So I think I'm going to grab some foam. I have some foam here. And I might add a bit of foam onto that. So we'll pop a bit of foam there. Where's my scissors? We'll add some more in there. And then another piece across there. Lovely. I think that should be enough. So I think I'll put my birthday over here on this half, just at a nice jaunty angle. And then we might kind of feel like I want to glue down my happy. And it's a little bit crooked. So we'll just straighten that up. That looks better. So I'll glue the happy down, and then I have a little bird that I am going to pop over there as well. So we'll put our happy there. Lovely. Now, they're all kind of flying in that direction, but I think if we flip them over, do we want to? There is a stamp as well with birds in it. I think we might put 2 flying birds up there maybe. I think it will balance the whole thing. So let's do that. So I think we'll put one, I'll grab it from the top there. So one there. And shall we just go with 1, or do we want 2, like a flock of birds? What do we think? 1 or 2 birds? I've got another one we could put. I do like things to kind of be balanced in 3s. What do we think? 1, 2, or 3 birds? Let me know what you think and we'll go with that. I've got the beautiful, and I think I'm going to put the beautiful over on this side. So we'll have our birthday over there and our beautiful over here. And then I've got the, your birthday is the perfect opportunity. What do we think of that for placement, guys? I'll raise this up on foam. Um, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 1 on each side, 3, 3, 3. I think 3 is kind of winning. What does our moderator think? I think 3 is winning. So we'll put 1 over here and 2 over there. Three is winning. Yeah, I think so too, Benita. And do we like the placement down here for our beautiful and the sentiment? Are we liking that? while I take off the papers. Let me know. Give me a yes if you like where the beautiful is going and our little sentiment there. I just kind of feel that, I don't know, should we put the sentiment above or should we put it below? I think everyone is liking the placement. Yes, yes, yes. Should we put our sentiment above the beautiful or below? Can you give me an above or below? Which do we think before I stick it down? Above or below? I love this. This would have been lovely for my daughter Megan's birthday. I might keep it for Alicia's. Below, below. It's 2 belows. Below, 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 below. Lovely. Okay, so we'll pop that there. And this will go here. And we'll glue this down. Oh, I'm getting loads of love from you guys. Whoever is clicking on the hearts, thank you so much. I am delighted that you're all enjoying this. I really am. It's kind of a bit, you know, filling in for Sam while she's on her holidays. It's kind of unnerving, like, because she's the queen of crafting, you know. Now, should we put it underneath there or over? What do we think? To the right, center, or to the left? Do we want it here on the left underneath? Do we want it centered or to the right? So give me a left, center, or right. Interactive crafting, Laura said. Indeed, I love it. I love getting your input, guys. I love you saying, oh, Simone, put this here and put that there. So are we going left, which is underneath, center, or to the right? Where should we put this? To the right, to the right, 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 right. Okay, I think the general consensus is to the right. So I'm going to kind of keep this the same width and pop that down there. Oh, I love it. Lovely. Okay, little birds. I think we'll put this fellow up here. I'm going to add a few twinkles as well. I do have pink holographic twinkles. I have gold holographic twinkles. And I have the silver holographic twinkles. What do we think, guys? Should I add the twinkles? Should I dot a couple of twinkles around? I don't want to leave them on screen because it kind of drives the webcam mad. How are we doing for lighting there? Is that better? Okay. So that's 1, 2, and we've got our other little bird. And this one has little pieces that kind of pop up. I don't know why, but they do kind of pop up. So I think we'll... Are you using the butterfly trail? I wasn't going to. I kind of felt it didn't need it. Did we want to add the butterfly trail? Now, where are we putting this fella? I think, are we going... Shall we put him lower down? Shall we put him down here or up here? Oh, maybe just there. What do we think of there? So let's go bottom left, top left, or right with the next one. No, not needed, Laura said. Yeah, I didn't think so. Love the sunlight on the bird. So are we going bottom left, top left, or to the right with this third bird above? So Maureen likes him up here. Top left. Yeah, top left. Okay. I think the general consensus is up there. Right. So we have our back pieces to put in, and I'm going to do that. Oh, we have to stamp a sentiment on that as well, guys. I'm just going to drop down the blind because that parcel of light is driving me mad. There we go. Right, I think that looks better. Okay, this is how we're doing so far, and I think it's looking so good. I'm loving it. Okay, so twinkles. Are we going for holographic twinkles, or do we want to go with holographic pink? Let me actually get them while I'm here. Let's pull some of those in. Just because I have them, you know, and we might as well use them. I think I have pink. Yes, I do. I have pink holographic. Now, they are a shade lighter than the pink that's there. But what do we think? Pink or silver holographics? And I'll just dot a couple around. I think they'll be really nice. What do we think? Pink or silver? The background round the butterfly would look nice as a sunflower. I agree, Tez. I agree. Yes to twinkles. Are we going with silver or pink twinkles? And then we'll go to silver, pink, silver, silver. That's 3 silvers to 1 pink. I think 2 pinks. 1, 2, 4 silvers. The silvers have it. Yeah, silvers have it. Okay. So we'll just dot a couple around them. Whoa. And then we shall, I just think a couple of little twinkles. That one wants to go there, so I'm going to leave it there. And we have some medium size. And we have the larger size. I'm just going to pull them out now from there. Here's one that's lifted. Let's see. Lovely. And pop a little one over there. I'm concentrating because these things jump. And I'm going to add one more up there, I think, as well. Yeah. I mean, it's all the sparkle. I love it. I love it. Okay, we need to do our back panel. So I'm going to sit that over there for now. So you can be looking at it. Now, I'm going to very quickly use in my collal. Have we thought of a poem that we'd like? Don't sneeze, Simone. It's not that they blow away, Tez. They jump. They literally jump. And you never know where you might find them. I've been sat on the couch and next thing, I've spotted this thing glittering on my top. And there it is, a little twinkle. Okay, so we'll pop that down there. And that can go on there. Becky is laughing. So has any of you thought of a birthday sentiment? I'm going to pull it out couple of them now. And we'll have a look. But do any of you have a thought with, ooh, Simone, that one would be nice? I mean, we could go for the Make-A-Wish one that we used on Wednesday. What do you think, guys? Okay, right. That can be drying there. I'm going to grab my stamping platform and we will grab our, right, we have got big birthday wishes. Today is all about you. Happy birthday, sweetheart. What else do we have? We have some of the, we never use the floral ones that we were considering last week on Wednesday. What do we think? Do we want to go with Happy Bloomin' Birthday? Birthday wishes just for you. I hope your day is beautiful too. Or do we want to go with Today is all about you? What do you think? I'm not sure about the today one. No, because we used that on the front. Yes, we did. So that one is out. Right, let's look. Happy Bloomin' Birthday. We could go with On Your Special Day or Birthday Wishes Just for You. So do we want Birthday Wishes Just for You? I hope your day is beautiful too. That's number 1. The next one is Happy Bloomin' Birthday. That's number 2. Or On Your Special Day. That's number 3. So 1, 2, or 3. Birthday wishes just for you. I hope your day is beautiful too. Happy bloomin' birthday on your special day. So 1, 2, or 3. We have 3, 2, birthday wishes. That's 1, Carmen. Excuse me. 3, 1. Carmen, you only get to vote once. It's the moderator who gets 2 votes. 1, ignore the 3, Caroline said. I was going to say, Caroline, you can't vote twice either, unless you're a moderator. Oh my goodness. Anne likes the first one, birthday wishes just for you. I don't know, Benita, how are we doing? Because kind of looks like 3. We've got 3, 1, 3, 1. On your special day because you already have happy birthday, beautiful, said Anne. Under a pile of paper, 6 3s. 3 is winning. So on your special day. Lovely. I think we're going to go with that, folks. Do we agree? On your special day. I think we'll go with that. I like that. And here we've got Hello Beautiful. You could nearly cut off, if you're happy to do SAMP surgery, you could put Hello Beautiful. I think there is hellos in some of the others, but I like that. So we'll go with that one. I'm going to pop that into a stamping platform. I might just do it up this way. It'll be easier. Put that in there. Oops. 1. There we go. Now, on your special birthday, generally as card makers, we stamp a sentiment, we stick it in the middle. I sometimes like to put it down like that at the bottom. You know, so you could go, Dear Teresa, thinking of you and your birthday and hoping you have a lovely day and blah, 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 blah. And then you have on your special day and then you sign your name, Simone. Sometimes I like to be quirky and do things like that. So do we think it should go in the middle or the bottom right? I hope you're enjoying all this, but should we go in the middle or bottom right with our sentiment? What do you guys think? Middle or bottom right? Middle or bottom right? I love it. I'm going to get my ink. I'm going to use my Versafine Nocturne ink. And yeah, I think that, oh, it does. I love it. I do love that a lot. I do love how the wings just pop. They're so, so lovely. Yeah. Middle, middle, bottom, bottom, middle, bottom, middle, bottom. It's so bold. Guys, I'm gobsmacked. I thought a lot of you would be like, no, you cannot put it there. I think bottom. Middle, middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 middles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottom is winning. Butterfly set off perfectly by the scallop circle. Thanks, Anne. Thank you so much. I think the bottom won. So I'm just going to give myself enough room there to put Simone and a kiss. Yeah, love it. I'm delighted now. So let's see. That looks straight enough. And we'll do a little bit of inking on that. I like the way Special is actually a different font. Haven't used this stamp before. So, and it did stamp beautifully. Look at that, first time, and I didn't season the stamp. Very pleased with that. Very pleased. Now, I like to, when a sentiment is left open like that, I like to either put a full stop or put 3 dots, because generally if I was signing a card, I would put always and then I do a line or I do ... So I think I want to do 3 dots, because that says it's, you know, it's not full stop to the sentiment. On your special day, and then I'll do Simone. Lovely. Okay, so let's remove that. I'll leave the stamp in there and I can add that back on there when I'm done. Now, if you were, I'm going to keep this collection to this collection, but you could also add in some of your lovely little flowers from the other. Oh, guys, what do we think? I really like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Shall we go with a smaller one? Oh, lads, what do you think? Guys, shall we add in a couple of flowers? I think they're lovely. Middle, 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 middle. Katerina, it's too late, it's done, sorry. Awesome. More is more, Simone. Step away, Wendy said. Hazel said, do it. Guys, should we add some flowers? I know it's not from that collection, but do it, Hazel said. Fabulous. Lynn said, flowers. Benita said, do it. Lynette said, yes. Anne said, yes, it finishes it off nicely. Becky said, perfect. Rita says, yes, and a thumbs up. Looks really nice with the flowers, Maureen says. Donna says, flowers. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add them in. I think that's lovely. I have a purple one. I might pop the purple one in there. What do we think of the placement, guys? Do we like them like that? Yay, do it. Flowers, flowers, Laura said. Do it. It's beautiful. Yes, I am going to do it. Now, I've added little punched out circles behind the flowers. It made it easier for me to, you know, to put them together. That's what I did yesterday, actually. So I'm going to sit them. Now we've got a blue and a blue, so I think I'm going to move that blue one and then maybe put that pink one. What do we think of the colours? Because I didn't want to put two blues. What do we think? What time is that? Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm covering for Sam, and Sam does long lives. It seems I'm following in her footsteps. Yeah. Yes to placement. White circle. Yes, just fine. Great. Lovely. Lovely. I think these flowers are going to be a very handy addition to when I do cards anyway. I just think they're so pretty. I can definitely see myself, you know, sitting down of an evening and just die cutting. Oh, I do love that. Isn't that smashing? I'm chuffed with that. Right, we need to add the back. I'm going to use the Kalal glue. I'll close this down. Now, I think you need to pull, see what I'm doing there? The butterfly, no, look, it's actually pushing itself. Okay, I thought maybe I might have to encourage, and that would only be because I've put, you know, the extra body on there. So, okay, let's add this on. You know, I'm going to add some flowers to this and probably stick a bird on it as well. Well, I have them there. So, and again, it ties in. I'm going to throw a twinkle on as well. All the things. And then I have my envelope made. So I can put these together in my basket. And yeah. The bottom of the white circle. Oh, put it onto the, like the white flower head. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so that's the front. This is the back. Has anyone ever done this and put it on upside down? Please tell me I'm not the only one that's ever done that. Okay, I think that is nicely placed there. So there is a bit of dimension in that. Now again, I use 300 GSM cardstock. I've also added foam. So yeah, you know, use a 220, maybe a 250 if you're doing it. Score the score lines on your scoreboard. I didn't do that. And I always recommend it, but I didn't do it for that one. But I do recommend score the score lines on the butterfly on your scoreboard. Use a thinner cardstock. You could always do your butterfly in purple or blue or whatever color, and then do your matte layers white, and you know, might really pop as well. Okay, so we have that on there. Now I'm going to add a little bird because I have one. And sure, we might as well. It's there. If you're enjoying this live or you're watching it back and you're enjoying it, please do give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you've enjoyed the content. And yeah, I love getting your comments as well, whether it's on a video or after the live is finished. I do respond to comments when I get them, or questions or anything like that afterwards. I think I will put, do we want to cluster the, I like the idea of putting one there. I think I'll put one there, and I might put a teeny tiny little pink one. Oh, that'll kind of get lost there. Maybe a purple one just there. Okay. What a showstopper, Carolyn Conroy said. Love it. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. That is so lovely. Okay, I know we generally do things in threes. But I think 2 flowers and our little bird there. Okay, let's clean up. And I shall bring in my envelope. So I have my matching envelope. And there is our card. And then when the recipient opens it, boom. There we go. And like I said, if you don't want your springs, you can always just put a little bit of foam tape there, or you can glue them straight down. I do like having the little springs there. You can see them. You could do them thinner. So instead of it opening like 3/4 of an inch, if you did them at 1/4 of an inch, they would open only that much for you. So you can play with your springs, but look at all. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. Happy birthday, beautiful. Your birthday is the perfect opportunity to remind you what a wonderful person you are. And then on the back, we have our on your special day, because every birthday is a special day. I just love it. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for your lovely comments. Thanks, Laura, for watching. I'm going to go now as well, but thank you so much. I absolutely... Trees. Katerina, you're hilarious. You really are. Beautiful, Lynette said. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lynette. Stunning, Katerina said. Stunning said, wow, I'm gobsmacked that you think it's... Yeah, I'm so chuffed. Super card and envelope. Fabulous card, Simone. Thank you for a lovely live. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Beautiful. Very nicely done. Savage card. Aw, I'm going to pop back up to me. I would like to say thank you all for joining me today. I've really, really loved it. I have really enjoyed covering for Sam and her being off on her holidays, being here on Wednesday and the Friday. I normally go live on a Wednesday morning at 10:30, and then Sam goes live on a Wednesday at 2, so you get a kind of a double dose. But I've enjoyed going live twice a week, so maybe we might continue this going forward. I think that might be a good idea. Oh, the sun's just gone in. Did you notice there? Yeah, so I'm going to remind you that there are links in the description. There are affiliate links if you're purchasing anything from Craftworld, whether it's today using products that I've used today, or whether it's for Sam's new collection that's coming out on Monday the 24th. I'm so excited. I'd really appreciate if you use my affiliate links. I really, really would. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in the comments section and helped me with choosing all the different elements that we've put on the card. And I'm going to leave it there. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend, everyone. I will see you in the chat on Sam's Live Monday morning for the new collection. If not, I'll see you Wednesday, but I will definitely see you. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye.